Oh, I definitely think so because, well, before this uh, project started, I was weary on getting like even a part-time job because it's kind of like how I am. I'm like basically anxious and nervous most of the time. But like working with this project, it's like it gave me kind of like work experience, and I stepped out of my comfort zone and interviewed at Wendy's and got the job there. And ever since, I was having a pretty good time at Wendy's.
I would say that overall, it helps with having a feel for how a job might be, like having things that you need to do. And even if you don't know necessarily how to do it, you need to do it, and you might not have people to help.
Yeah, I'd say it made me more prepared for a job, even if I'm not gonna be necessarily going into the um, this particular field. The interviews, especially, really helped with preparing for that kind of stuff.
Overall negatively, but in certain aspects it was positively with communication. You know, I think sending people like to their houses kind of makes them more comfortable. So I think that kind of helped with working together and stuff, and plus being forced to have to work together because like it wasn't like you couldn't like Zoom calls were optional. But were they really optional? You kind of wanted to be there. So I think kind of like pushing people together really helped communication as well, and that really wouldn't have happened without having to be sent home.
It it changed everything. Like it something as simple as getting on a computer was just so different, because you gotta clock in. You have to remote into the clock in computer, then you have to remote into the computer you're going to use, and then you have to say that you're remoting into that, and it just adds up so many extra steps. It kind of complicates the process, but it wasn't too hard to adapt to.
I would say that overall, it probably negatively impacted the project because outside of having so many extra steps to do work, um, you also had to feel like doing the work. You feel a lot less motivated when you're not in the workplace. Because while we still got notified every Monday through Friday at 4:30 something, hey, what'd you do today? Before that, you probably didn't feel all that motivated to do it, and after that, you feel like you have to do it. And feeling like you have to do it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do it.
I do not think we completely succeeded because we didn't overall finish the project. But as like learning goes and learning how to communicate and do some of the tasks, we did succeed. So partially we did, and partially we didn't.
It's very hard to say. I think to a point we did. We succeeded in like G said, one of our main goals wasn't finishing the task. It was to learn new things and get experience, and I think we definitely did that.
So I think from a school standpoint, definitely. Like it taught us how to do things. It taught us about what it was supposed to teach us about, and it, provided you with an experience that you could only get in school. From a project standpoint, I think we mostly succeeded. Like, just not completely. Because it would be like having an actual job, doing majority of what you need to do for the job, and then forgetting or just failing to do the last few simple things, such as if you had to close up a store, you just forgot to sweep the floor before you left.
The interview process because I have never been interviewed before, and I was it was very nerve wracking because I did not want to say the wrong things and just mess everything up. It's just an interview process. But I'm a guy that I'm getting nerve wracking just being in the spotlight for lots of people. So yeah, that's my biggest challenge.
In general, like with being a team lead, it would have been delegating tasks. I wanted to do all the work, and a lot of it I did do all of the work, but there were times where when I did give like a task to Darian, and he would actually do it and everything, and I should have done that more. because it would have given him more chances to actually learn and do better in the project, and that's definitely one of my biggest challenges.
Be prepared for anything, you know. Every things don't work out 90% of the time, you know. Sometimes you get stuck on a task, you know, you think it'll be easy, but then it turns out that you have to actually share the file for it to be shared.
The most important thing I learned is like you can have friends in the workplace, but they shouldn't really get, like, I don't want to say special treatment, but sometimes you have to be stern to them, like get them back to work. I didn't really have to do that very often, but like being stern is like something I'm not very good at.
It was great. It was. I think it. I'm happy that I did it. I'm happy that I was actually told not to take G's class by someone that I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna give him out, but I'm glad that I didn't listen. And I took it because I think it helped a lot. I learned a lot of stuff, and plus I made like a bunch of friends. So I think the whole project is gonna stick with me for a while.
You know, there's a lot of things I look back on during this project, and I think that definitely could have been done differently. But in the end, I really wouldn't have changed a thing. This whole project has just been so much fun and such a great learning experience. You know, I met a lot of good people that I never thought I would end up getting as close as I did. You know, I ended up learning a lot of things that I never thought I would have to, and I just absolutely loved this whole project.
It was fun. Well, I'm not gonna say it's fun, but because it was school. But it was one of my more favorite things I did this year. You know, I think mainly because of the people were so, like, I know all the people. We all work together, and together we can't stop just taking over nations, bro. We're literally like, just put us ahead of it.
Together we can stop the COVID-19 virus.